and welcome to Net Forum. Today we are going to start a very new series of Python programming. Python programming, as we all know, is the latest trend in today's development scenario. It is being extensively used in many domains and in many applications. Python programming composed of its big library, set of modules which are playing a very important role in its development. We will going to study Python in two very important scenarios. The first one is known as Python with data structures, and second one is Python with data analytics, where we will going to use different type of packages which are required. So broadly, we will going to divide this Python class into two modules. Module 1 and module 2, right? Module 1 deals with basic programmings and Python with data structures. Python using the with data, okay, it's okay, no problem with that. Python module 2 will going to be used the concept of data analytics, means that the implementation of Python in data analytics we are going to read out, where we are going to learn different type of packages. So some very important packages which will be common in both modules, and some which will be explicitly used in data analytics are in this. The first of all, what is a package? But before then, that we are going to focus on the basics of Python. What is Python? What are the qualities of Python? Right. So, but here for a moment, I will just like to share some important packages which we will going to discuss each and every package in detail later on. But just to make you familiar with some packages are as follows. Number one is NumPy. NumPy will be used here also. This numeric Python file which is used for numerical computations, and rest of the packages will be going to be included in it as they will come. But here are some very important packages, like we'll use sklearn for machine learning. We're going to use matplot library file for plotting purpose. We'll also use Seaborn library, and of course pandas, very important. So these are very important dedicated libraries which we're going to use, libraries or packages, whatever you say, because it has they all have some inbuilt important classes which we are going to create the instances of those classes and going to implement their functions which have their special uses and special values. Now here Python with data. So firstly we are going to concentrate on this module which is known as Python with data structures. So now start focusing on Python with data structures, and we'll start with the very basics. So basics of Python. As it is being said that the best way to learn a particular language is first to learn it on board, then on practical. So we will going to first learn on board, and then we will going to implement the practical aspect of that particular language on the laptop, right? So let us start basics of Python. First point, which is being extensively used and people are mostly confused of that, is that whether Python is an object-oriented programming language or functional programming language. So the point is that Python is an object-oriented programming language. Why it is object-oriented programming language? Because we can implement classes in it, we can implement modules in it, we call the constructor, and each and everything is properly structured in an object-oriented paradigm, right? Second point is that Python is an interpreted language. Interpreted doesn't mean at all here that it is a slow language. Python is a very fast language, and it can use, that's why it is used explicitly in machine learning, where we have millions of data, and it transform that data, or suppose clean that data, process that data, and produce the result, right? It is extensively used in cloud computing platform also. It is used in AWS, Amazon Web Services. It is used in Azure. It is used in all different type of web services also, and also in data analysis. Why? It is a very, very robust, and it is a very, very lightweight language with the very lightweight packages, lightweight modules. So interpreted means, what is the exact meaning of interpreted? We all know of interpreted since we have gone through C and C++, but let's take it for instance. Suppose we have three lines, line 1, line 2, and line 3, right? And this is our program, suppose a.py. What is .py? .py is an extension of a Python file, right? So line 1, line 2, line 3, suppose 3 lines are there, and we want to process and see the result of only this line. Then in basically we are going to follow the Jupyter notebook, the IDE which we are going to use is Jupyter, and it is very, very easily downloadable file. You can download it and install on your laptop. Suppose we want to execute line 2, then we can easily execute line 2 and see the output. That is where this Jupyter play a very important role. We can execute, we can interpret the results line by line. We don't need to compile, or we don't need to execute all this whole file at once. We can execute line by line and see the results. Third point is that Python is dynamic type language. That means we don't explicitly have to write its data type. We can write, but if we write, suppose dynamic type means, suppose this is our IDE where we are working, and we write a equal to 10, and we press enter, b equal to 20, and we write a plus b, then we can get the result 30. So here the values are dynamically typed, but there is a difference. If we take the input from the console, suppose written enter a number, right? Then since input is a keyword to take the input from the console, right? A equal to input, enter a number. This is just a comment to make ensure when the control goes to screen that you have to enter a number. Then you have to typecast it to integer. Why? Because whenever an input comes to the Python console and to the input stream of Python, then it is in the form of a string, right? We have to convert that string into integer. Remember that particular thing. Suppose if you don't convert it, enter a number, and you have taken b also, b equal to input, enter a number, and when you write a plus b, suppose here 10 is being entered, here 20 is being entered, then in the result you will get 1020, because the default typing is string when we take the input from the console, right? So Python is a very robust language, very efficient language in handling big amount of data structure. We don't have to put ourselves in very much in typecasting and all other things. It is being automatically handled by the interpreter of Python, and that's why it is being extensively used. It is a very rich and very interesting language. You're going to learn a lot in this whole process of Python programming classes. So I hope we will be together in our next classes. And if you like this introductory lecture, then please subscribe the channel and be with me for the whole program of Python classes. Thank you very much.